Today we got 11 perfect players and we're starting them off at a single club. They are going to have a future transfer 1 year into the future to their supported favourite club. They've got max loyalty. Can all these players stay together and dominate world football as a team? Or will they all flitter off to PSG, City and all those other teams? Well, let's find out. Yes, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are with 11 perfect players. A full squad. We've got Welsh, Scottish, Northern Irish and English. Yes, the British Isles, the UK are represented here. And we're starting off with Crawley in League Two because they were, I think, favourites for relegation. So we'll start off with just the season preview. Crawley, obviously going to go up. So if you can hear weird beeping, ladies and gentlemen, there's something going on outside my house. I'm not sure what's going on. It's a little bit obnoxious. I'm not sure if the mic's picking it up. If it is, apologies. Hopefully it stops soon. But the recording won't stop because I haven't got time to waste. So, back to the shortlist. Here are the players. Randomly generated names from Football Manager. Carwyn Payne, the goalkeeper. There he is, mid-journeyed up. Harry McMullen, one of our centre-backs. And Liam Cowie, another centre-back. Keir Main, our full-back. Along with Jack Duffin, who is also a fullback. Big Derek Thomas, central midfielder, alongside Ant Bilson and Michael Doherty. Kieran Marshall on one wing, John Longwell on the other, and Alex Palfrey leading the line up front. Of course, their attributes are frozen. They have got 200 out of 200 in terms of their ability. They are, well, like I say, they're here at Crawley. Next season, they join Brighton for £1 or something, like next to nothing. But they're all joining Brighton. Why Brighton? I don't know. Just Brighton are a team that I don't think will go down in the first season. And I want the team they go to be in the Premier League, and hopefully they'll go in and they'll probably win it because they'll already have the team chemistry. They'll probably go in, they'll probably win the Premier League. I've made the players versatile enough that they'll be able to fit into most systems. We've got wing backs, we've got right backs and left backs, we've got three in the middle. So a 4-2-3-1 is basically what we're going to have to be playing. And Brighton do play that under De Zerbi. Hopefully he stays. Hopefully they don't go down, and hopefully all the players go. And in the first transfer window, of course, they won't be transferred because they've just joined their new club. Then January's the sticking point, but if they're doing well, hopefully they can keep hold of the players and not sell anyone. And then they should win the league, get in the Champions League, and I'd like to think the players will be happy, they'll be playing, and they'll be like, I want to stay. Will they? Who knows? Remains to be seen. Of course, they've got model citizen personalities, and I've put 20 for loyalty because, again, the point is I do want them to stay. If we look at information, favourite clubs, Brighton supporter. They are all supporters of Brighton, so they'll be going to their boyhood club, their supported club, with the view that will be a slight inkling that they will want to stay at that club. Whether it will or not, who knows? We will all find out, though, in this experiment. So without further ado, should we go and see how they do in the first season with Crawley? You think they'll go up? I mean, they're almost certainly going to go up. How many goals will they score, though? That's the question. 500? Who remembers that video? What a video that was with Wolves. So they're all still here at Crawley. They are joining Brighton at the end of this month. We've got some international appearances littered throughout. Look at that. 32 goals for Derek Thomas from midfield. 57 for Alex Palfrey, the striker. Crawley, then, in League One. Well, they did win the league. 148 goals, 9 against, 130 points, 4 draws. 4 draws. But that is because they've only got 11 perfect players. Did Crawley play them all season, or did they end up, well, playing some of the other less good players? I'm sure any Crawley player that might be watching, no one's watching it. No Crawley players watching this. But if any Crawley player are, I'm sure you'll agree that you are not the perfect player. Because these guys will walk into any team on the game. Favoured personnel. I could have potentially done the favoured personnel as each other. They could have all been, friends with each other, and they would have probably wanted to stay. But it is what it is. In terms of the Premier League, how did Brighton do? Brighton finished 8th. So they have not got European football, which is a shame. It is a shame. If they'd have got some European football, it might have even helped that catalyst of them staying even more. That being said, they did not go down, which was exactly what we wanted to happen. We did not want them to go down. Wolves, Luton and Sheffield United went down, and Liverpool won the league in Jurgen Klopp's last season, 3 points ahead of Man City, who also got over 90 points. Unlucky not to win the league with that. Third place Newcastle down on 69, so it was a very much 2-horse race all season. The award winners, the top goal scorer was Darwin Núñez on 19. I would bet one of our players will be better than that this season. But they might venture around across Europe. We have no idea of knowing. So let's cross our fingers and go one more year into the future to 2025. Okay, they are all still at Brighton for now, which is brilliant to see. I'm very, very pleased at that. So let's have a look at the Brighton squad. It's Brendan Rodgers in charge. De Zerbi left the manager role, but Brighton have won the league. Unbeaten, only drew 1 all season, a 2-2 against Spurs, 112 points. Arsenal and Liverpool on 81 points apiece. Tottenham getting Champions League football from 9th. They must have won. What did they win? The Europa League, surely. Yeah, 2025. Unai Emery's in charge there. God, where's Ange gone? Ange got sacked. He's now unemployed. Unfortunate for Big Ange. But yeah, De Zerbi's left the manager role and we've got Brendan Rodgers. So Brendan Rodgers came in 335 days ago. And these players arrived. Well, he joined on the 1st of the 8th. These players arrived the day before. So De Zerbi, he left on the 8th of the 7th. De Zerbi left before all these players came in. And he's gone to Manchester United. I'll be honest with you, Roberto. I feel like might have been a mistake. 7th he got with United. Oh, where's Pep? Pep left. Go to PSG. Carlo Ancelotti's come in and been sacked. It's all going on. It's all going on, isn't it? Well, if we're looking at managers, early Ralph Watch, manager of Austria, ladies and gentlemen. And he's hired as the Austria manager. Austria have not won the Euros in 2024. They didn't even bloody get there, did they? France won it, beating Netherlands in the final. Fine. Sometimes Austria win it. And we saw in a video recently that Ralph won the Euros, so I'm very much keeping an eye on his success as a manager. Of course, our players here. 3 in 16 for Keir Main as a fullback for Scotland. 1 in 16 for our centre-back Liam Cowie. No goals, of course, for old Carwyn Payne. He is our Welsh goalkeeper. Only conceded 14 in 38 in the league. That is impressive. I didn't look at the goals. I saw the points. 150 goals scored. I missed that. And only 14 conceded. 136 the difference. Well, Footballer of the Year was John Longwell, the right winger. 31 goals, 15 assists, and 8.56 overall. That is unbelievable. The player's player was also John Longwell. The team of the year. Basically the entire Brighton team with Odegaard and Jesus. So who's missed out there? I'll be honest with you. As a 4-4-2, we're going to be missing a striker because we've only got one striker. But unfortunately, only Des Thomas has made it in the central of midfield. Michael Doherty and Ant Bilson did not make it. The tactics are as follows. It's a 4-2-3-1. Brendan Rodgers has seen what he's got and he said, "Do you know what, lads? You go and do you." And go and do them, they did, I guess. Favoured personnel. They've got a lot of favoured personnel here. All of our players. Brendan Rodgers is also there as favoured personnel. I wouldn't be surprised if these guys become club legends, especially if they stay. The hope is they do. The young player was again John Longwell, and the top goal scorer was Kieran Marshall on 31 from the left, 31 for John Longwell on the right, and Alex Palfrey up top. Just 25. Just 25 goals in the league. He finished 3rd as the lone striker. Wingers doing business, though. Wingers doing a lot of business. So, moment of truth-ish. I mean, no one's wanted, which is, it's not concerning. It's lulling me into a false sense of security right now. In terms of the wages vary wildly here. 29,000 for a couple of them. 30, 40, 50s, 115 and 120,000, 135. It's not enough. It's not enough, is it, to keep them? Brighton need to put the money where the mouth is and pay big. On we go to 2026 then. They are all still at Brighton, which is absolutely brilliant to see. Of course, Brighton have won the league yet again. 105 points, 100 goal difference this time, 19 conceded, 119 scored. 1 defeat, a 2-1 loss to Man City. Matthias Darm's Man City, or otherwise known as Thomas Tuchel's brother. Where's Matthias Darm come from? Obviously, there's some jiggery-pokery that happens with German Dutch football with Football Manager, and some of the names are wrong. I think Oliver Kahn's Jens Freund or something. But where's the name Matthias Darm come from? Answer me that in the comments. So yeah, Brighton once again winning the Premier League. And in terms of the FA Cup, well, they've won the FA Cup 2 years in a row. I didn't even check in the first season, but Crawley won the FA Cup. Of course they did. They got all the way there. They won the FA Cup. They also won the Carabao Cup in 2024. So these players have won the Carabao Cup and FA Cup for 3 years in a row. Once with Crawley, twice with Brighton. Brighton, though, have not won the Champions League. What happened there then? They won 5-0 in the first leg against Man City. They lost 3-1 in the second leg. Oh my God. They lost 3-2 to Real Madrid in the final. John Longwell with a penalty. Camavinga equalised, Alex Palfrey making it 2-1, Rodrigo equaling up before half-time, and in the 86th minute, your best friend and mine, the golden boy himself, Jude Bellingham. Of course, Brendan Rodgers is still in the job. He's on £68,000. Now, how are the players doing for wages? Well, I think they've all had a bit of a pay rise, haven't they? 165,000 seems... Oh no, 205,000 for Alex Palfrey here. He's negotiated well. Nice one to the agent there. All of them have got over 100,000. Karim Konate, 205,000 as well. So he's paid more than all of them apart from Alex Palfrey. I think Alex Palfrey might be a match highest earner clause. Or Konate is. They spent £122 million on Karim Konate from Barcelona, who bought him for 20 million from Salzburg, and they've just bought him. Is that necessary? I feel like it is a match highest earner clause for Alex Palfrey. Just thinking, obviously, season preview, does anything need to be said? 7-5. Interesting to see that only 9 of the 11 are our players. Saka and Martinelli have snuck themselves in there. Clearly not 200 current ability, so not sure what that's all about, media, but on we move. The award winners then for the season: Brendan Rodgers, Manager of the Year, of course. Footballer of the Year, Johnny Longwell again, Player of the Game so far. The Golden Glove, Carwyn Payne. We didn't look last season, but of course he has done it. Gregor Kobel's moved to Newcastle. Players Player, John Longwell. Team of the Year, once again, it's 9 Brighton players and 2 Arsenal players. It's Gabriel Jesus again with his whopping 13 goals this season. Declan Rice has snuck himself in there. So what the hell is wrong with old Bilson and... is it Doherty? Because Derek Thomas is in there once more. Young player was John Longwell, and the top goal scorer was it was John Longwell. Oh my God, 27 for him, 26 for Kieran Marshall, 18 for Fabio Silva. So where the hell? How many did Palfrey get? 17. That's rubbish. You're a perfect player, Alex. Disgusting. So they lost the Champions League final. They've won every other trophy under the sun. Brighton, can they keep hold of their team? They have. They're still all there, which is unbelievable, to be honest. I was expecting a couple of them to have gone. You look at them, they're worth over 100, they're 200 odd million pounds to buy. So you would expect teams to really struggle to afford that. Once per season, a couple of teams might be able to do it. Your Cities, your Bayern Munichs, your PSGs. But you know what I mean? 2 or 3 of them I thought might have left by now. The fact that they've stayed means that they might stay for the long term. And even if they don't, Brighton have got enough money behind them that I think they're going to be a powerhouse for the entire save game. The Premier Division, once again, they've won the league. Of course they've won the league. Is anyone else going to win it? Again, undefeated. A 2-2 draw with Liverpool was the only points they dropped all season. 123 goal difference with just 11 being conceded. That might be the best defensive record I've ever seen. And of course, Brendan Rodgers is still here. He's now got himself on £100,000 a week. He's entered the Worldwide Hall of Fame. He's in the European Hall of Fame. He's won the Champions League. Who did they beat in the Champions League final? It was Manchester City, 3-1. They went down to 9 men. Missed a penalty, 1-0 up, down to 10 men, 2-0, 2-1, down to 9, 3-1. And of course, the FA Cup once again. This time they beat Chelsea, and the Carabao Cup they beat Liverpool. Football of the Year, John Longwell. Brendan's Manager, once again. Players Player, John Longwell. Team of the Year, Erling Haaland sneaks in there this time with 16 goals. Alex Palfrey got 22 this season. Look at that, John Longwell with 27. This guy is insane. 31 in 40 for Scotland. Hopefully they're going to do something internationally, some of these players. We might go and have a look in a moment, because internationally we do need to check in on Ralph again at Austria. So, Martin Odegaard again in central midfield. I can't for the life of me understand why we're not getting other players in the middle of midfield. It's not like, Thomas is playing here as a defensive midfielder. Doherty and Bilson just don't get a look in, despite the fact that they, I believe, are playing reasonably well. A 7.6, I don't know what he's getting. A 7.49 for the season. Pretty good. John Longwell's now a club legend already. Already a club legend. In terms of information, he's Brighton supporter. He's undroppable due to form for country. Brendan Rodgers' favoured personnel. None of their teammates favoured personnel. He feels Alex Palfrey is a vital part of the team. I think you're the key man, John. And you? Still 32,000 capacity at the American Express Stadium for Brighton. £179 million in the bank. Spending reasonable. Karim Konate, Let's have a look at him. Did he play much? 3 goals in 12. Didn't do great, did he? £122 million. Bit of a flop, Brendan. Bit of a flop, if you ask me. Okay, so Ralph's now the manager of Ipswich. He's resigned as the manager of Austria due to a run of bad results. He's now the Ipswich manager, currently 9th in the Championship. He became the manager on the 8th of the 9th, 2026. So a year ago. Mid-table finish for Ralph, 11th. Yeah, we saw France had won the Euros, didn't we? And the World Cup was won by the Netherlands, beating England in the final. Unfortunate. Of course, we haven't got loads of players for England or the other nations. England have got 2. Northern Ireland have got 3. Wales have got 3. Scotland have got 3. So I've actually weighted the players in favour of the lesser UK nations and only given England 2. Because England have got enough good players as it is. So yeah, here we are, 2027. Let's go to 2028. They're all still there once again. They're all still there. And of course, we've won the league. Another unbeaten this season. This time a 1-1 draw against Arsenal. Kieran Marshall this time is Football of the Year. Brendan, of course, is manager. Player of the Year. Kieran Marshall. Team of the Year. Haaland. Hey, John Longwell's moved inside. John Longwell can now play central midfield. Why is John Longwell a central midfielder? Garnacho is now on the right. So we're still only getting 9 of the 11. Can't for the life of me work that one out. The young player of the year was Kieran Marshall, so he's now taken over from his mate John Longwell. Despite the fact that John Longwell got more goals, 30 goals, to Kieran's 27. Alex leading the line with just 22, 10 assists. He's done. I mean, that's a great return. A goal every game, a goal contribution every game. But when you've got 45 and 46 respectively for these two in 34 and 32 games respectively, it's just unbelievable stuff, isn't it? Unbelievable stuff. Brighton, of course, did win the FA Cup. They won the Carabao Cup, and again they've won the Champions League in 2028. This time they beat Man City again. Not this time, just same again. This time it was 3-2 though. 2 penalties. Didn't go down to 9 men. And the game was closer. There we go. 2029 then. Still there, but we've got a dreaded wanted sign. John Longwell is wanted by Real Madrid. And that concerns me. That does concern me. Of course, once more league winners, losing this time to Tottenham and drawing to Newcastle and Burnley. Valuable points for them against Brighton. Very, very evenly split for the top 4. City and Tottenham both on 77. Very close amongst those teams. Unfortunately, Brighton are just running away with it. Golden Glove, again, Carwin Payne. 28 clean sheets 3 seasons ago. 25 this most recent season. John Longwell's back as Footballer of the Year and Player of the Year. The Team of the Year, again, is just 9. I think you can only have 9. That must be coded in. Only 9 players for one team. Because Dominic Szoboszlai is now in the middle of midfield with Erling Haaland up top. To be honest, Erling Haaland with 15, it just doesn't sit right with me. It's not good enough to be in the Media Dream 11. But if you're going to play 4-4-2, you play 4-4-2, I suppose. But Szoboszlai, I feel like our players probably did better than 7.53. And Bilson's got himself in there. No Derek Thomas. So there you go. Of course, young player John Longwell again. Will he be eligible for that for much longer? I don't think so. Kieran Marshall, top goal scorer with 26. Not a clean sweep of the top 3. Gonzalo Ramos for Man United with 23 goals this season, finishing in 3rd. De Zerbi is long gone. He got sacked after under 2 years. He's now the manager of Norwich. All due respect to Norwich. That is a fall from grace, isn't it? Considering he was at Brighton and the players that have come in, Brendan Rodgers has just walked in and become arguably the best manager of all time. He is, well, they're all becoming club legends. Brendan Rodgers is still only favoured personnel. So for some reason, the Worldwide Hall of Fame is a little bit squiffed because it's not even on this FM. I don't know why it's carried over. The last FM, where I was using the perfect squad to try and score 500 goals, get relegated with the perfect squad, not concede for an entire season. That triple threat of videos where we were Wolves. For some reason, I'm here as top of the bloody pile, first and third. Pep in the middle of us. Like, I have cheated the game to make it as an experiment, and Pep's still better than one of me. Brendan Rodgers is down here in 7th, Worldwide Hall of Fame. Continent. Yeah. Again, I'm not sure why it's done this for the Wolves' sake, because that was, again, like I say, it's on the last FM. Answers down below as to why it's not. Anyway, on we move. People have been asking me to look at the Hall of Fame. So there's Brendan, 7th worldwide. Will he get to the top? Keeps the players, he probably will do. Has John Longwell gone to Real Madrid? That is the question. Let's all pray that he hasn't, and subscribe to the channel while we're doing that. He's still here. John Longwell is still here, and again, of course, Brighton winning the league, played 38, won 38. It's the perfect season. Only 14 conceded. Take a bow, Brendan. 4 Champions Leagues in a row, this time beating Real Madrid. John Longwell said, "No thanks, Real. I've got a better team here." And he scored a penalty in the final against him. Have a bit of that. Have a bit of that. Jurgen Klopp. Jurgen Flop, am I right? 6 FA Cups for Brighton in a row. Oh, well. 5 Carabao Cups. Did not win the Carabao Cup last season. Did not check that. Just assumed we would. Only £13 million in the bank. I'm not too sure why. I actually am sure why. Because... oh, look at that. Luca Lipani. Not a bad player. Might have signed him with Leeds. If that save game ever comes back to the channel. And you got 1 episode. You've got some great players, to be fair. Great players that are probably just never playing. Unfortunate. There we go. A lot going out in wages here. Over £300,000 for most of them. The current wage budget is over £6 million. Worth every penny, though. They're winning everything. They are the best team in world football. You want to stop paying those wages? Sell them. Do you know what I mean? So, obviously, this video's rumbled on long enough. There are 24. They've been here for quite a while. Should we start doing bigger jumps? We do 3 years? Let's go to 2033. I'm really nervous now doing a 3-year jump. I just think we're going to lose half the players. Oh my God, they're all still there. I can't believe it. I genuinely can't believe it. Again, almost a perfect season, just drawing to United. Again, another perfect season this time, winning every game, 145 scored, 10 conceded. I think that's their best conceded ratio. And again, back to back. So Brighton haven't lost for like nearly 5 years. They haven't dropped points since the United game where they drew 2-2. In 2030-31. Brendan Rodgers is now a club legend. Unfortunately, not that many of the other players are. Jack Duffin is. Where's John Longwell? John Longwell's gone from a legend to an icon. What's happened there? Awards. Football of the Year. I mean, John Longwell's just continued winning it. Brendan's Manager of the Year. Yeah, John Longwell and Kieran Marshall are winning it. And for some reason, John Longwell's no longer a club legend. Work that one out. And of course, he's been winning the Golden Boot. Look at this. Karim Konate of Newcastle. They recouped a fair £139 million they paid for him over the course of, obviously they had add-ons, which he met somehow. And then he's gone to Newcastle, scored 30 and 36. He's proven he deserved to be in the team. But ahead of Alex Palfrey? I think not, my friend. I think not. Although Alex isn't scoring enough, is he? How many's he scored? What's his best season? 26 most recently. 21, 23. I mean, 41 in the League 2, but that doesn't count, does it? Never hit 30. Of course, still winning the Champions League. They beat United twice and Man City most recently. So Man United have actually made a bit of a resurgence. Kobe Mainu, vice captain and key player. 174 potential ability. That's going to be bigger on the next FM. Surely. He's going to be a 180. I bet he's going to be a 160 to 190 range player. Got to be. I mean, he might be that on this, to be fair, at 174. But I think he's probably a 150 to 180. I could check that, but, you know, why interrupt this video? For more waffle. Man City, again, most recently. So 7 in a row for Brighton. The FA Cup, 9 in a row. And they've carried on winning the Carabao Cup. Just that one little blip there in the 28-29 season. Scotland are currently 14th in the world with Patrick Vieira in charge. John Longwell is the captain. Wales are 11th. Still got Rob Page in charge. Northern Ireland have got Stale Sol back and they are 43rd. Would have expected more. And England are equal second with Imanol Alguacil in charge. 2 Euros in a row for England. Alex Palfrey with the golden boot in both those tournaments. And look at that. Jude Bellingham second most recently. Michael Doherty third. You've got Kylian Mbappe and Bukayo Saka second and third respectively there. In terms of World Cups, well, as we saw, it was Netherlands in 2026 beating England in the final and Italy beating England in 2030. How appropriate. Are they ever going to move? I think at this point, the answer is going to be no. So let's go to, there'll be 32 in 5 years. Let's just do that big jump. Only 38. I've got to admit, I would have been very disappointed had they all left really early. But I did not expect them all. They're still all there. I did not expect them all to stay with Brighton for their entire career. I thought maybe if they're playing it every week, which they would be, and they support the club, and because they would be successful and winning with that first season where they can't move because, you know, I thought, will that just be enough to cement them as a team? And it has been. It has been. English Premier Division, of course, 5 years in a row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So going back again, still undefeated. Draw against Spurs. Oh, they lost against Liverpool. First loss in about 6 years. No draws though. 111 goal difference, 111 points. Don't see that every day, do you? 2 draws there, no defeats. 5 draws here. Bloody hell. In the 36-37 season. Only just got over 100 points. Only just got over 100 goal difference as well. Slacking. There we go. Back to form. 125 goal difference. No defeats, 1 draw. Football of the Year. Kieran Marshall and John Longwell sharing it amongst themselves. Brendan Rodgers, of course, is absolutely killing it. Kieran and John celebrating Player of the Year. The Team of the Year, again, I mean, Karim Konate is getting himself in this team of the year. A few times. I'm impressed. He did not let his head go down. Top goal scorer. Oh my God. Suguru Ishii for Liverpool, the Japanese, 25 and 32, top goal scorer last season. The first time someone's not won it from Brighton. We made up the other two places in the top three, but still, rare we don't get a clean sweep. Alex Palfrey, is that the first time he's got the golden boot with 26 there? It bloody is. Madness. 12 Champions Leagues for Brendan Rodgers. I mean, it's 12 in a row as well. 14 FA Cups in a row. Oh, well, look at that. Newcastle and Tottenham have also won a Carabao Cup. Tottenham beat Man City. Newcastle actually beat Brighton in the final, so fair enough. Probably not playing the strongest team in the Carabao Cup. Genuinely probably playing some of the weaker players. I mean, they are still good, but the second choice players. Because he's winning the Champions League every season. They've not bothered up in the stadium. The £262 million in the hole. What's going to happen when these guys leave or retire? Surely, I think now you've got to sell them to Saudi, right? Otherwise, you've got to fall off. Not for sale. Not for sale. Oh, God. Yeah, not for sale. They're all just not for sale. We don't know what the value is. But yeah, you can see. I mean, look at this. £625,000 for Kieran Marshall. I mean, he is winning loads of golden boots and player of the year. So, you know, most of them over 100 caps. Kieran Marshall, 61 caps. Why has he only got 61 caps? Is he retired? International debut against Hungary there in 2024. First international goal against Ukraine. Still playing for Wales. He's there in the team. There's Payne. Why is David Thomas not in the Welsh squad? He's retired from international football in 2036. Fine. Hey, 32. When will they leave? Go 2 more years, 2040. To begin with, I didn't want them to leave. Now I don't really want them to leave. I'd like them to stay all the way till the end, but I think they probably will. Here we go. So, Kia Main, wanted by Saudi. Derek, Saudi. Jack Duffin, Saudi. Michael Doherty, Saudi. So once again, they're all still here. So they've stayed all the way through to 34 years old. Again, 2 more wins for the league. Again, undefeated seasons. Drawing 5 games across the 2 years. We've got 2 more Champions Leagues. You bet we have PSG and Real Madrid. And, oh wow, Man City have won an FA Cup for the first time in 16 years. I mean, if you were watching real football and this is what happened, Brighton just out of nowhere signed 11 amazing players and they all stayed and they've just dominated world football like this, everyone would get very sick of them very quickly. First couple of years, it'd be like, bloody hell, go on Brighton, doing a bit of a Leicester. And then everyone would be like, ugh, Brighton again. £300 million in the hole now. Who is a club legend? Not enough of them. Really not enough of them. Harry McMullen is, centre-back. Jack Duffin, Kia Main, Liam Cowie, Brendan Rodgers. That's it. So the 2 players that are winning all the bloody trophies, John Longwell and what's his face, Kieran Marshall. Those 2 just icons for the club. Slap in the face, innit? Coming another 2 years in to the future. Oh well, Kia Main went to Al Hilal for £12.25 million. It's not a lot, is it? Jack Duffin. Christian Pulisic is in charge of Al Ittihad. I clicked the wrong thing. I'm glad I did. He's on 7k a week. Who's in charge of Al Hilal? Kieran Dewsbury Hall, as you do. Who's in charge of Al Nassr? On slots. Didn't work out at Liverpool then. 32 million for Michael Doherty, and Jack Duffin went for 3. You prick. Everyone else is still there. Carwyn Payne is wanted again by Saudi Arabia, end of his contract. Premier Division still being won by Brighton, still representing. Oh, they lost one there. Lost to Tottenham. Brighton have won 16 Champions Leagues in a row. Real Madrid and Man United in the last 2 years. Managerless. Where's Brendan? Retired from management, Brendan Rodgers. Promoted from the Sky Bet Championship via the playoffs in 2011 with Swansea. Second in the Premier League with Liverpool, 2014. Won a few things with Celtic. FA Cup winners with Leicester in 2021. Back at Celtic, winning some stuff in 2024. And then there's that. That is his career. That's the Hall of Fame, the Worldwide Hall of Fame. Well, I have been superseded by Brendan Rodgers. It's mad. I don't know why this thing for me is in here, the one with Wolves. It doesn't show any other save game from Football Manager that I've ever done. Where, I might not have won as many trophies in a short amount of time, but I mean, even on the channel with Liverpool, with Sunderland, the series with Sunderland, we won so many trophies, didn't we? I'm sure I would have been in some sort of Hall of Fame. 5 domestic divisions, 2 FA Cups. I mean, I won 4 Champions Leagues with Sunderland. I think I won 2 or 3 Premier Leagues. So, I don't know. I would have thought I'd be in there somewhere. Anyway, Brendan Rodgers got himself to the top. Martin Demichelis at River has just been dominating. Pep, and in 4th. Jurgen Klopp won quite well. He carried on for 14 years. 16 years he won 14 First Division wins in 16 years for Real Madrid. 15 Spanish Cups in that time. Bloody hell, Real Madrid have absolutely dominated, haven't they? Impressive stuff. Not won the Champions League though, have they? not won the Champions League, so a few of our players have gone. Brighton, £115 million in the hole, saving a lot on wages, I guess. Who's going to take over? Coming another 2 years into the future now. Well, they've all retired. So he left Brighton to go to Barcelona on a free, did Carwin Payne. Brighton have got Kyle Robinson in charge. They've got quite a lot in the hole. Derek Thomas is an unemployed manager. He left on a free, and that was it. Harry McMullen is a coach at Bournemouth. Again, left Brighton and retired, basically. Jack Duffin went to Saudi. We saw that. Ian Main, we also saw him go to Saudi. He's back from Saudi. He's now at Stoke as a manager. Manager of Stoke. Ant Bilson, unemployed manager once again. I don't think he's going to do much, is he? Liam Cowie just retired. John Longwell, an icon, unemployed manager. Alex Palfrey, unemployed manager, free agent, never went anywhere. Did John Longwell? A lot of them never even went to Saudi. That's how good it is. That's how well we did by keeping him at the clubs. Only a handful went to Saudi at the end of the career. Very impressive. So Brighton, the Premier Division, they've not won it in the last 2 years because a lot of the players would have left. Managers, look at that. Brendan Rodgers, and they've not been able to keep anyone. Thomas Tuchel won the Community Shield, but you're always going to fall down the league. In the last 2 years, so finished Europa League football, finishing it in 8th. And then Europa League football for Chelsea from 17th. Conference League football for Brighton in 8th. Champions Leagues won by Tottenham and Real Madrid the last 2 years. FA Cups shared around Arsenal United. Carabao Cups, Sunderland and Newcastle. Nice, going to the North East. Right, Golden Ball, Kieran Marshall and John Longwell. Just all about them. Player of the Year. Again, split between them. I'm not even going to count. Those two have won the experiment. It's a draw between them because they were both fucking amazing. World Team of the Year, all seasons. Palfrey, Doherty. But the two players that were their best haven't even made it into the team. Trent's at right back. We haven't got our goalkeeper. It's Real Madrid, Juan Gabriel. Thomas and Bilson in the middle. Doherty and Bilson, who could barely get in the fucking Media Dream 11 Team of the Year for the Premier League. Got him there with the Champions League. Alex Palfrey, 639 in 858 games. Fair play to him. But look at that. No winger. Lamine Yamal, he's still going for Barcelona, to be fair. He's retiring. He's had a good career. I just can't believe it. Miguel Gomez at Arsenal, wanted by Saudi. Mental. We have gone forward a slight bit further, but I'm very impressed with how this has gone so far. I really like the fact they stayed. Because I really didn't think they would. I thought some would leave, and I wondered if they'd go to other teams in the Premier League and they'd be battling against each other, which would have been kind of interesting. Maybe we'll try this again with some other variations to make it so some will stay, some will leave. Suggestions down below. But Brighton, where are you now, Brighton? The Premier League is as follows. Well, in the 2040s we left and we've come back, and 1, 2, 3. Brighton have won another 3 Premier League trophies. They've won another Champions League as well. There you go. It has been shared around. Look, Aston Villa won a Champions League. We've also won a Europa League in 2048. The FA Cup. Won another FA Cup, have we? Yeah, we have. Cardiff won an FA Cup. Kerr Smith in charge. Brighton have done pretty well in this experiment. We've, of course, some of our players. Where is he? John Longwell. He's retired now. He was trying to be a manager. No one wanted him. Of course he didn't, because he's crap as a manager. Can't believe him and Kieran didn't get into the Champions League or World Team of the Year for all seasons. That 20 years period. That was a shame. But John was one of the best players, as was Kieran. Those two won so many Ballon d'Ors between them. It was just insane, wasn't it? Maybe they were too good. Who knows? So yeah, let me know any thoughts on this and any other variations you'd like me to do of this, because I do want to sort of do something along the same lines where they do sort of flitter off, but I do want them to sort of, some of them be at the same teams in the same leagues. So how we manage that, I'm all ears. I'll have a think myself. Like the video if you haven't already, and subscribe to the channel if you're still here and you haven't done. Other than that, take good care of yourselves, gang. I'll see you soon.